Hello and welcome to episode 130 of the Seal Podcast. I'm joined below, uh, to my sort of bottom left, by Neil.
Hello.
Hello. It's just us two today. Fraser
Yes.
is
Probably at the airport, I think, at the minute still.
probably sat in a queue somewhere. He'll be coming over to England for some family visits, and we're
Yes.
gonna join up for a few drinky poos and cheeky Indian. I think on Sunday.
Hey, Sumo's in chat. Hey, Sumo.
Yeah. Hey, Sue. Hello. Yeah, it's a bit of an informal one today. Again, no Fraser who normally does the hosting, and Pilch who normally steps up when Fraser's not about. So it's just me and Neil. But we'll go through.
We'll hold each other's
And
hands and
yeah,
take it
yeah,
gently.
yeah.
Be like our first time.
Be easy. Be gentle with us. Um, um, no football, no fancy football.
No football of any description, apart from people moving around between clubs and stuff. But yeah, not a lot going on. Fixtures came out this week, though, so I guess that is football related, fancy football related. People will be all
What
right.
the actual fixtures for
The
next year?
actual fixtures have come out, so people will be planning who's got an easy run of games at the beginning of the season to rack up the points early,
So
that sort of stuff. But
it starts now
that's
really with the
that's what
planning
the
of.
pros are doing. Yeah, the pro FPL players are already on it, looking at who can they get in, who's got an easy run of games to get them ahead. But
Fair enough. And it all depends on who's actually with what club, I suppose. Now, like,
yeah, there's a bit of moving around going on.
I
Yeah, big
suppose
one from Liverpool's left. He's gone to Bayern. So
they haven't put out the players and the values on them yet.
no,
Do
I
that.
don't know when it starts. I mean, it's an early start to the actual season this year, so hopefully it'll be up in the next couple of weeks. I'd have thought. Pilch has joined in the chat. Could be asked to turn up on the show, but he's on.
Hey, no, Pilch.
Get well soon.
Yes. Cool. Have you looked at it at all, or you've
I've not really started it yet. My son's been all over it, but
right.
he's got nothing better to do, has he? You know.
A GCSE time, isn't it?
No, not for him. It's for my daughter. My daughter's got her GCSE. She's only got 2 left. She's had
Right.
only 2 exams left, and then she's like, "I'm going to be making sure she gets a fucking job." So she's been doing some coaching with the netball club, so she gets like a tenner a session. She's like, "Oh yeah, if I do 8 sessions a month, that's like 80 quid." I was like, "Yeah, how much did you say we mate was getting? £800 a month, right? 80 quid's not a lot, is it? Not the way she's burning through everything."
Not going to do very well at maths then.
Well, maths is her best subject, to be fair. So yeah, she's hoping to be well up there on the maths, but yeah, it's all so weird now. All the grades are like numbers instead of letters. So, like a 9 is an A star star, whatever. I was like, A
Right.
star didn't even exist. I swear when I was doing GCSEs. Yeah.
Oh,
He's
good.
going up to like the big school next year, so we have a weird 3-tier system here. So.
Oh, okay. So the middle school is going to upper.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Just going through here. Seal, Twitch, YouTube. We didn't do much this week.
We haven't done nothing this week.
We've all been pretty busy. I was hoping to get on some Vampire Survivors, which I'll talk about in a bit. But
yes.
I got really into it, and then like I just didn't pick it up again. Because it's been 2 nice evenings, so I've been getting drunk instead.
Oh, nice. One of my favourite pastimes.
Yeah. We had much chat on Discord.
I should have looked at that, shouldn't I? There was a little bit going on this week. Nothing major, don't think. No new additions. I did post GTFO is on a freebie this weekend in the Discord. No one's reacted. I didn't say much elsewhere, to be fair. But
yeah, I did see that actually. I
it's
kind of watched
on sale, but
right.
as well.
How much is it?
It's 25% off on Steam, when I go to Green Man Gaming, because I'm an XP member or whatever, I can get it for 36% off. But I've already got it, so I don't need to get it. So
Oh,
I think I can share that get someone else onto the XP for once a month or something. So I could share a
wow.
link, something, if anyone does try it and wants to get on it. I've only played it on my own because randos. No thanks. But yeah, it does have matchmaking and all that stuff, but it's a proper co-op affair. So yeah,
Right.
it'd be good to get with a few people, but if no one's interested, then I guess that won't be happening. So
That's it. Well, I'll see what my day's like tomorrow. Obviously not Sunday.
Sunday, I don't know what state I'm going to be in by the time the Formula One's on.
Me and you are hopefully getting on the same train, aren't we?
Yeah, that's the plan. If we can be organised.
Yeah,
You'll have
organise
to
that. I
tell
think
me what time it's getting into London, and that's how we'll work out which train to get on.
yeah. I think there's a couple around the same time, around 11ish. But I'll double check and make sure I get the right one. Tell you which one. And I know we said about going down to Brick Lane. Is that
Brick
it?
Lane,
I don't really.
Brick Lane is the curry capital of England by the look of it. We were looking. If it was last week, me and Fraser stayed on a bit late last week, and I was looking at the map, and there was just hundreds of places to eat down there apparently. So
Right.
hopefully, we're Father's Day. Obviously, it's a bit risky to not have a booking, I guess, but there's enough places around there. Apparently there's a groundhog has disrupted the F1 practice. This latest practice, great. I'm sure that's happened every year. But,
Typical
a bit of deja vu there.
Yeah, it's funny. We were just saying about the F1 practice was just starting as we were starting this. Cool. No, I've never been down Brick Lane.
No, I don't think I have.
I've been around a few places in London, but not there. So I was looking up what types of curry I can have for that is mainly lactose free, and a lot of biryanis are fine.
A lot of it's
in ghee.
Ghee is a major ingredient in it, and generally, if you go to a place.
Ghee done correctly doesn't contain lactose. The actual
really?
lactose.
I thought it was butter.
Well, it's clarified butter, so the actual part that contains the lactose is skimmed off. It's part of the fatty part, apparently. I've read so.
I don't know. I don't even really want to think about it too much. To be fair, that sounds like I know what butter is, and I can deal with that. But now you're talking weird stuff. I'm like, I wouldn't want to see it really. I don't. We sell it in tins at Tesco, and I'm like, I don't really know what that's going to look like. Oh, bloody Fraser's in the chat as well. Look.
Fucking hell.
So we're all here without only us two are actually here.
So yeah, that's the plan really. Be good to come down and see you guys. I know. I think Fraser was it a couple of years ago?
Fraser was over a couple of years ago and met up with quite a few around EGX time. I think it was. Wasn't it? But I met Fraser a couple of years ago.
We met down the pub, didn't you?
Well, it was pre-pandemic, I guess. So that was probably 3 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah, jeez.
When he last came over, that wasn't the EGX visit, but yeah, it'll be good to see. Well, we'll see. Fingers crossed, Mr. Pilch is COVID-free by Sunday and feeling all right, but we'll see.
Thanks for the clarification. That's a terrible.
A great joke there. You can tell he's a dad of two. I've got about 18, 19 years of practice of the bad jokes, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. Let us go down. So let's have a look at the tweets. So we've done quite a little bit of a late tweet today, but Emma Strangers has come back, and he said, "Evening, boys. Let's talk about the weather." Very British of you.
Yeah.
On holiday while in a hot climate, what's your thing when sunbathing? What do you do? For me, I tend to sit on a lounger, listening to a podcast and reading a book. I sit in the same position with knees up, occasionally dipping into the pool. This tends to mean I've burnt my knees, feet, and shoulders. It's never comfortable laying on your stomach for more than a few minutes. So after 2 weeks, front tanned and burnt in places, and back same colour as it was 2 weeks prior. Booked our first holiday in 4 years off to Sharm el Sheikh in September. Sharm el Sheikh is gorgeous, but you need to be next to the beach. Sharm el Sheikh,
Is that
away
like
from the
50
beach.
degrees or something crazy over there?
Yeah, Sharm el Sheikh. If you go September, I'm not sure about September, but I've been before, and
it's one of those places that doesn't really get hot, like any hot. Like it's always hot and it's never cold,
Yeah.
and it doesn't really fluctuate much over the year.
No.
I don't suppose.
At least with the beach, you get the breeze, and the breeze is the saving grace. Well, when I went,
What is that Dubai, Sharm el Sheikh?
no,
Egypt.
Egypt.
Isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
Egypt.
Yeah.
No thanks.
So my sunbathing, I don't really sunbathe. What I do is I sit in a lounger, normally under shade or an umbrella or something, because I hate the sun on me. Like just sitting there, I just feel like I'm cooking. So yeah, podcast or a book. Sometimes I'll take my what's it called? Not Game Gear. Bloody hell.
Vita?
No, it's in a Vita
DS?
bag. DS, that's it. I don't know what's in a Vita bag. I found a Vita bag for cheaper and put it in there. It's been that long since I've been on. I haven't plugged it in since. But no, yeah, like you can't unless you're like lying down and sleeping on your stomach, which I'll have my earphones in. Yeah, no. But I'll just jump in the pool occasionally, get hot, jump in the pool, paddle about, fuck about for a bit, and
yeah. See, I'm fucking. The last time I went on holiday was we went to Ibiza. This is not like 20 years
clubbing
ago.
holiday.
No. This isn't like 20 odd years ago when I could still do a proper Ibiza holiday. This was a family holiday. And we were at. Oh, fuck it. I can't remember. Anyway, because it doesn't really matter where it was. It was flipping hot, like all the time. And where we were, there was like a, it was quite a big hotel. It was all inclusive. So this is, old school. Don't get that shit no more.
No.
Like buffets and everything. But yeah, around the pool where we were, it was not a massive pool, but it's like you could see the beach in front of you, but we were a little bit away, a bit higher up from the beach. So there was like, and then there was like, to our left there was hotel, behind us was hotel, and then to the right and ahead of us was like open, where we were sitting across looking out to the sea. And it seemed to me that any wind was coming from the left, so there was no fucking wind around the pool. It was just like a baking constantly. Like we were only there for a week, and I was just miserable. I was just like, it's too fucking hot. I can't sit here this time. And I was just like, I get in the pool. That was the only time I'm happy. I think when it's hot like that, it's just getting in the pool. I can't sit there. I can't sit there doing nothing for hours on end, listening to podcasts or reading books or anything when it's like 30 odd degrees, and it's just like. So yeah, I don't like heat.
No.
Like it's been hot, like pretty. It's not been too bad today, to be fair. It was hot, but I guess it's because it's only been one day. It's bearable. It's when it goes on for like 3 or 4 days in a row. It's just like fuck this.
To get your little paddling pool out.
Every time it gets super hot over here, it's almost muggy usually as well. And it's horrible. And it's just like, man, that's when you start thinking about having the should we get aircon conversation. And then it cools down. Well, then it pisses down for about 6 months on the trot, and then you go, probably a bit of a waste of money getting the thing. And then it gets hot again for a couple of days. Like,
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. No, I am. I was saying to you, I should have got the aircon
in your shed.
In my shed, but I was like, I keep it.
You can get a portable one.
I keep seeing the things you can get portable ones, and you can get like the proper window seals so that you plastic up your window
Yeah.
and just put the funnel out, and it works. Or
You
just
could drill a hole in
in
the roof
side.
or
Yeah.
around the side, probably.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't put it in the roof because that would be a bad idea when it's constantly raining over here.
Yeah. There seems to be a leak. But yeah, I'll see. It's been 36 degrees today
In
in
your
here
shed.
in my
So
shed.
that's technically in the shade,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah, yeah. So I was working and I was like, oh, it's a bit warm. I looked over, it's like 34 degrees. I'm like, I probably should open a window. Open the window
Yeah.
up. 36 degrees. I was like, damn.
Oh.
It's got hotter.
But, I don't know. What could you do?
But my house is absolutely freezing. It's like
Oh, fuck
all in the shade. Yeah. So the house is perfectly positioned to not get the sun.
I'd
Whereas the
have
shed is,
thought up that hill it would have been even hotter than everywhere else around there.
well, it's because
A bit closer
house,
to the sun up there.
yeah. The house back is facing, hang on, that's north, east, and the front is facing west, and the sort of main building is sort of covered by a different building from the
Nice.
south. So
Yeah, you got
yeah.
a barrier.
Yep. So I went in at lunch. It's like, oh, it's lovely and cool in here.
Yeah, technically, we've got a house that side. To be fair, we're in a terrace and we're lower than the house next door. But it doesn't seem to make much difference to the heat in our house. It's like fucking
No?
well hot. I think the
Oh.
insulation's a bit of an issue in our house.
Yeah.
But
So you don't have any?
well, not a lot, apparently.
Right.
Not enough.
Right.
Not enough.
Not
It
enough.
doesn't get super cold in the winter, but it gets fucking hot in the summer.
When I lived in a flat, it was brilliant because I never had to put my heating on because all the other flats around me
Yeah.
put their heating on, and it was like mine was fine. Like mine was getting heated for free, basically. I like that. So yeah, no. MS Rangers, I hope you enjoy your holiday
have a
to
good
Shem el
holiday.
Sheikh. I'm
I certainly
very
wouldn't
jealous.
even contemplate again there. That sounds way too hot.
Not only that, it's the bloody getting there with the planes and stuff. I know I didn't used to like it the best of times going around in planes, but at the moment, it just seems like they haven't got any staff to actually get people through the airport.
Are they all getting sick with COVID still? I don't know. Is that why they're off? Or have loads of people left during COVID? Like they've binned a load of people off and they haven't come back?
I think that's it. I think initially they were blaming it on COVID, and it's like this is going on like for months now. And it's like, oh yeah, no, we did actually let everybody off, and now we're having to re-recruit everybody, and nobody wants to work in the industry because it seems a bit uncertain for people. But well, yeah, you sacked everyone.
Yeah, you basically fucking treated us like shit. Why would we come back and work for you? They'll come work for Tesco's now. We had someone who was on the customer service desk who worked as I think they were an air steward, and they were so good on the tannoy. It was crazy. It was like super professional all the time. It's like, I can tell you've been trained.
Yeah, I think the airlines. I think working from. I think in their heyday, they did the staff really well. Very well paid. Like got them all on courses. All that jazz. I knew somebody that was his wife was an air stewardess, and like always like going through proper training. Like I think they put her through her university for something just because like she'd been there for a couple of years, and she said that's what she wanted to do and stuff. And it was they did really right by her. So the staff that they had in their heyday, they looked after really well. But yeah, it's because they didn't know when it was going to start back up again. They were like, well, we're going to let people go.
Yeah.
Oh
well.
Oh well. So no, but I'm sure you'll be fine. Just make sure you got insurance.
Indeed.
Pilcher's saying it's chilly up in the Alps. It is chilly up in the Alps.
Yeah, I assume that was a reference to where I said it was going to be hot up higher. But
it was, I suppose in Scotland.
I'm assuming it's not actually. You're not actually living up the Alps, though, are you? It's not that high up.
And he was saying COVID's gone. Oh, good.
Oh, it could come out on Sunday then.
Yeah. Come meet us. We'll get that set up. Anything else from Discord or?
Nothing has. Let me just double check the Discord. Nothing's turned up for you. Oh, no new stuff. We're all good. So,
Okay, so we'll go say what we've been doing. I'll go first because I've got a few
go on
bits on here. I watched the whole first season. Well, actually, I think there's only one season of Savage Builds. Adam Savage from MythBusters. You know MythBusters, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Did
guy
you
with the
watch
dodgy
it?
tash.
Yeah, yeah. Not him, the other guy.
Right.
He. Well, I know him from MythBusters, and it's quite a weird sort of. I've been watching him through Tested.com. He does a YouTube channel of doing random builds, woodworking, and cosplay, and all that. And I didn't even realize that he'd done his own series on his own, which is basically him doing. It's kind of like MythBusters, where he was just making projects. He does one on Iron Man. He makes a sword out of a meteorite, and there's other sort of various things he does.
He makes a
And
sword out of a meteorite. Did you say?
yeah. So he gets a an meteorite iron.
Right.
And does he smelts it? Does he smelt it? He doesn't.
Is it
No, he
like
doesn't.
like something from Asgard or something?
Well, it shows you the whole process of the blacksmithing and how he does it. It's actually quite interesting. So, there's 8 episodes, and I watched them through Sky Plus actually, because I nicked that from my mum and dad, because I'm too cheap to buy Sky. And yeah, it's quite good actually. It's I used to love MythBusters and the building part of it, and but some of them were a bit shit, and some of the people that hosted it were not great. But Adam and was the guy that I follow, and it's really good. I think he was supposed to do more, but then COVID hit, and that never happened. But no, I've been watching that. That was good. I started watching This Is Us. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I've heard this, but I don't know where I've heard it. Whether it's old,
Right.
new, I can't remember. I've definitely heard
It
something about it.
it's quite old. I think we watched it on Amazon Prime. My brother-in-law has been recommending it for ages, saying you got to watch it. It's really good, and it's kind of like, it looks a bit shit. Didn't sort of never really sort of piqued us, and like me and the missus had watched that, sort of run out of stuff to watch. So it's like, oh, okay, we'll try one, and it's basically about a family, of triplets, and their parents, and basically their life. It kind of like flips between the parents as young adults, before they had the children, and during the sort of the early years, and then the triplets later in life. And it's really interesting. All very different characters. We've watched about 4 or 5 episodes, and we're like, okay, right, we'll see why it's like they like it. And it's weird because I'd never actually want to sit down and watch something like that. It's something that the missus would watch on her own. But no, it's really good. If you've got nothing to watch, and you fancy just sort of dipping your toe into seeing what it's about, it's worth a watch. You'll know on the first episode or 2 if you don't like it. And then the only other real thing I've been doing this week is looking for a new phone for my daughter.
Oh dear.
So she dropped her phone on the way to school the other day.
Oh no.
And she was like, "Oh,
Guess
it's
she's
all
not
right."
getting a new one then.
Well, they're fucking expensive. She will
Hmm.
get one. She has to have one, really. But
I've
it's
got a
like,
few old phones.
now you tell me. Um, so now I've ordered one off gift Samsung Galaxy S9, I think it was.
S9, that is old
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's about 3 or 4 years old. But,
Doesn't matter if it gets dropped on the floor now.
doesn't matter if it gets dropped on the floor. Well, it does. But it's still bloody expensive. It's over 100 quid.
So how much?
120 quid.
I thought you said 700 quid for a minute. Is that what?
No,
the
no,
fuck?
no. 120 quid.
Yeah,
So
that's not
no,
too bad, I
no,
suppose.
it's not too bad. But it's in its heyday, it was a great phone. It
Well, that
was
was
like
top of the range when it came out, wasn't
it
it? Yeah.
was flagship
Do you
phone.
know what? I reckon that the S9 was the big one when I got my OnePlus 3. I think that was the same year that I got that.
Right.
But yeah, my OnePlus battery was just fucked by the end.
Yeah. So the fact that I'm getting it through gift they say it's on warranty for 12 months, and they do all these tests. So I'm hoping that they've swapped the battery out if it's 4
Yeah,
years
maybe.
old.
I think
Uh,
you might have been able to get replaceable batteries in those days as well.
yeah.
Don't know though.
Not sure. Not sure. Well, that'll be one of the first things I do is I'll check the battery's okay.
Well, so when she comes in like half an hour after you've charged it and it's fucking dead.
um, so yeah, but yeah, second-hand phone market is yeah, it's
Almost as
booming.
crazy as the second-hand car market, is it?
Oh, yeah, Jesus. Oh, what's this? So Fraser's ground info. Oh,
Fraser's bored, obviously, at the airport.
And that's it. That's been my week. Other than that, I've just been just working and being hot.
And sweating. Yeah, I haven't done loads this week. I finished watching my first shows last week, didn't I? I haven't watched much TV this week. But I think Sumo's left the chat now, but I'm going to talk about the show that he keeps banging on about. Because I've started watching Severance on Apple TV.
Good.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Am I on the 7th episode now? And I think it feels like it's actually about to really kick off. Like it's been a bit of a slow burn, interesting, but it's really fucking weird because the idea of Severance is you separate, the guys who have been severed, they have signed up for this thing where all the memories they have at work only happen at work. And then obviously outside of work, it's like they have two separate lives. They have a work life and an outside of work life. And it's the outie, which is the guy who's like the actual person who lives outside.
Who gets all the benefits and pay and
they go
life.
to work in the morning. They still have to get their ass out of bed in the morning and go to work, but they go down the elevator, and as they go down the elevator, they get like their brain fuck switches, and they go into their work persona. And on the way out, obviously the reverse happens. But yeah, proper fucking weird. So it's directed and written, I think, by Ben Stiller mostly. There's someone else doing some directing. But it's got Adam Scott as the main character. And I can't really remember anyone else who's in it. I can't think of... Christopher Walken's in it. He's the most famous person in it, really. But he's a bit of a minor part, really. But yeah, proper weird. Like, obviously, the whole scenario is like a bit of a headfuck. But yeah, it's... it's just weird.
And you definitely see it on more of the perspective of the innie, especially at the start.
Have you seen it then?
Yeah.
Have you watched the whole thing?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So yeah. So you've yeah.
But you do see some bits of the outie.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that you start. Well, I've got to a point where it's like you sort of the last episode was definitely a bit more of that. But the stuff that's going on inside, like the workplace, is right weird as fuck. But
Yeah, like
it's good, but it's just proper weird.
Yeah, I think I spoke about it. You do kind of get a little bit of vibe of like Lost in that you don't really know that, and they don't really know what they're doing inside,
Yeah.
and that's part of it. Like, but even if they did have their
It better not
memories,
turn out to be like Lost.
the ghost monster, and they're all dead anyway.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. But no, it's yeah, it was really interesting, and the whole concept of you know, they're in his sort of having the um feeling like they're being cheated because they have to work all
Yeah.
the time. Their life
Yeah.
is they turn up
They're
to
basically
work, they
slaves,
work,
aren't they?
yeah, and then they leave, and then the next memory is they're back at work, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're
that's right.
cheated of
Fucking weird.
cheated of the actual life part. And the lady that keeps trying, like the new lady that keeps trying to quit,
Yeah.
and their out is like, nope,
Yeah.
no,
The
you're not quitting.
escalation of that. It gets pretty
Yeah,
real. It got pretty real at one point, that's for sure. So, fucking hell.
um, but yeah, like
I think there's
there's
about
no.
3 episodes left for me. So yeah, it's been I don't know. It's been a bit of a tough watch at times, I guess, but it's really intriguing and
Hmm.
interesting. But yeah, I can't it's not going to blow you away, I don't think.
I
Yeah,
think it's a really interesting. It's a really interesting concept, and yeah,
yeah.
like when it finished where it did, I was just definitely like, I want to watch more.
Ooh,
So
okay.
it got me. It
Is
grabbed me.
there's any TV show that get to an end and then go, yeah, that's that done. Not fucking coming back for anymore.
I don't
But
know actually. Like Running with Wolves? No, Raised by Wolves. There's 2 seasons of that, and it's funny that we got to the end of the first season. We was like, ooh, second season, it's out. I could watch it, but nah. We're happy to actually leave that as it is. Maybe go back
that's
to it in
supposed
a
to be
couple of
good though,
months.
season 2.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of it.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was funny at the end of that one. Was like, yeah, we could watch the second season, but same as Westworld actually. Westworld, we got to the end of season 1. Was like, we'll leave the second season for a little
Yeah, they
bit.
could have
Like,
left it there, to be fair. But I've enjoyed. Is there 3 seasons of it?
there's
I've
3
liked
seasons
all
of
of it.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, I've liked all
yeah,
of that. But then
yeah.
people used to say I've watched about 7 series of Homeland, and then like after the first 2, I think people were like, "This is shit." I was like,
Yeah.
"Well, it was still interesting." I thought, but what do I know?
Homeland. Oh, yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah, where
the ginger guy.
what's his name? Daniel. Is it Daniel?
I don't know. He
No.
was like a septepinal reverse agent by the end of it, wasn't he? Kept on
Oh,
flip
fuck
flopping
knows what
between.
was going on with him. Oh, he died ages ago, yeah, like or something. And it was
Like, yeah,
all the like the spy stuff I was interested in and that. But yeah.
yeah. I watched a couple of seasons of that, and it was like they thought he was like a counter agent or like,
Because
oh, I don't know.
basically he got
He got
captured as he
converted
was
to
a
Islam.
US soldier
Yeah, he
of
was a
some
US
description.
soldier found
Got
in
captured by
Afghanistan.
was it Afghanistan? Was it Iraq? I can't remember.
Not sure, but
Anyway,
then
Al
converted
Qaeda,
to,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Supposedly.
No, I don't know. Yeah, actually, I'm not. It's quite tempted to watch that again now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I enjoyed that.
Is that it? Is there anything
I think
else?
that's all I've done really. I don't think I've done anything interesting. Some people might say that wasn't very interesting. Pilch. But there we go. Should we talk about some games?
Let's talk about some games. I'll let you go first for the games because
Well,
one of them we both played.
do you want to leave that till the end, or do you want to do that first? Get it out of the way.
We'll do that first.
Right. So, surprising nobody who's been listening recently, still playing Vampire Survivors. Trying new things has been what I've been doing lately.
Well, I
trying.
just picked that up this week. Well, end of last week.
Yeah, you just literally just started playing it. I think that just before last week's show, weren't it? I think.
Yeah. Yep.
So
yeah. Let's have a look. I'm just gonna have a look,
I
see how many
think
hours.
my longest run was I've done 32.5 minutes or something. I don't think I've got back to my record since I got it, which is a while ago now, because I keep trying new tactics. And I want to try, because the deal is you get, as I said before, every time you level up, you get a choice of 3 or 4 different upgrades.
Yep.
And if you keep upgrading one of those things, you get to the max level. You go up to, well, the weapons I've got usually 8 levels.
Yep.
And then there's like boosters to like damage or
Health.
Frequency of like, I don't know what you call it, like how often it triggers the effect, the weapon is one of the boosts. And then there's like the duration of the effect of the weapon will be longer as one of the other boosters type thing. Can't remember any others. But anyway, so they have got about 5 levels usually, and there's like armor, so you can take more damage before you take more hits before you actually take damage.
Yeah.
And then there's a shield, which
The laurel.
the laurel, yeah. And there's like a weird thing called the clock lancet, which there's like a line that literally goes around. I guess there's 12. I haven't actually counted, like as a clock. And every so often it'll trigger and it'll freeze all the enemies in the line where it's on. Which, as far as I'm concerned at the moment, is the only thing that can get you extra time at the very end of the 30 minutes. It's the only way I've found to last beyond the 30 minutes and 5 seconds that you get to, roughly. Because it'll freeze the big bad that comes at you after 30 minutes. Giving you a bit of time to fucking get out of the way, basically. But so all of those like modifier type weapons will evolve one of the weapons. So for example, like the whip, you get to level 8 if you've got, I can't remember which one it is. I can't remember. Like, say it's this laurel. I don't think it is. But if you've got the laurel and you've maxed out the whip, at some point you'll be able to evolve the whip. It's definitely not the laurel, but and then when you get the whip evolved, it becomes it's like stronger as a weapon, but also has another effect.
Yep.
Usually as well. So the whip, when you evolve it, spoilers if you're too bothered about it, give you a warning. It basically, when it hits, it heals as well. Heals you. So that for me was a really good weapon to have, the whip. Seems pretty lame at the beginning because it's the first one you get pretty much. But yeah, so I'm trying to find all of the ways to evolve the other weapons, basically. I've got a load of them. I can't remember hardly any of them now because it's been a few days since I played. But I was listening to the veteran gamers and they were all talking about it last week, and we've talked about it for 3 weeks now, 4 weeks maybe, and you discover the garlic at some point. But basically, what happens is you start off with like a minimum amount of characters, and each one has got a minimum amount of weapons. As the more you play, the more things you unlock. The more characters you unlock, the more weapons you unlock, and the more of these booster modifier type things you unlock. So, and obviously at the same time, you're picking up coins for each run, and you can use the coins to buy permanent unlocks, or the new characters that you unlock as you progress. Because even though if you unlock a character, you still have to pay coin to be able to use them in another run.
Yep.
And they was on about they've not played it a lot, but like they got to the point where they'd got the garlic, and they were all raving about. Ginny was raving about garlic, how great it was, and I'm like, I am way past the garlic being good stage. Because
Yeah,
when you get
yeah.
the garlic, you're like, this is amazing. Everything just bouncing off me, and I could just go around forever. And then you get to 30 minutes and you're dead. You're like, oh, that didn't fucking do a lot, did it? When it got to the 30 minutes. So yeah, there's a couple of things that I've decided that are key. But I think I don't know if I've already spoiled it, but yeah, I'm not going to say too much about what it is, because the joy of the game is like the discovery and the as much as the like beating up all of these little minions, because the gameplay is very basic. The actual act, what you're physically doing is quite basic, because you're literally just moving around and making choices anytime you level up. And the joy is like the discovery of how does this affect that, and how the combinations of all different weapons work together and stuff like that. That's the key. That's the joy for me in the game. That's the reason I'm still playing. But yeah.
Well, where I'm at is, yeah. So I've got past the garlic. The garlic was great for the first couple of runs, and then I didn't even realize you could get past 30 minutes. I thought 30 minutes you're dead. That's it. But like you posted a screenshot. It's like, yeah, 31 minutes. I was like, and you run complete, or I was like, oh, you don't just. Well, I think you do die at the end, but like you don't just die at that bit. And I think the garlic, and there's a book as well that's really good for
the King's Bible.
Yeah, something like that. That just sort of surrounds your player.
Yeah. I mean, when you first get it, it seems a bit shit because there's literally like one book and it going around
and it's
quite
only
slowly.
like for a second or two, and then it stops.
Yeah. And then disappears.
The evolved one of that is good for the first like 20 minutes. Like if you actually get to evolve it, and then it's just a continual like damaging, and then it gets to a point that the enemies are too don't just go through it, and you die anyway. So it's a good early game thing, but like I know there's weapons that I haven't even found yet. Apparently there's like gun. I saw somebody playing, and there was like the tiramisu, or there's some versions of guns.
I've had guns.
Yeah, like I haven't got to that bit, so I need to. I know I haven't unlocked all the maps yet, so I need to sort of complete some runs on various maps to unlock different maps.
You found the Milky Way map the other day, I saw.
I found
the
actual map.
Pause while you're in a game now, since you found the map. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it shows you
like
where there's additional drops. Yeah. So you can only get part of the core component of the game is that you can only pick up 5 weapons and 5 additional sort of boosts.
I don't think you have. I think it's just 10 of anything of total. I think.
Right.
You could have 10 weapons
it's 5 of each. No,
is it
it's
not?
5 of each. 5 at the top, 5 in on the next row. You play a game and you look. If you just try and do weapons all the time,
because I feel like I don't know.
Yeah,
some
like
of the things definitely feel like weapons. There's a duplicator, isn't there? Maybe it is right.
That's not. Yeah, that's not a weapon. Double check that, but that's what it is. Like there's 5 weapons, 5 additionals, boosters, and then anything else you find on the map, which if you unlock the map, which I did the other day, which when you press pause, it actually shows you the map and where other items are.
I mean, those are the same items every time, as far as I can see. On the map, on each map, on like the library map.
So the different maps have different drops. So you can have a build where you max out what you can actually unlock by the upgrade mechanic, and then get the additional items on top of what you've already got.
Yeah.
So you can have more weapons or more boosters. Also, when you upgrade some of the actual weapons, it removes that from the slot, so you can have an additional upgrade. So you can, I've seen people on I had a look at the guides on Steam.
Cheating.
I was just like, well, most of them about unlocking secret characters, and you got to do
Yeah.
something
Well, a
on a
lot of
map.
it, if you just look at the achievements in the
It's
game,
just
it
there.
will tell you
Yeah.
how to do things. Basically, it'll tell you how
Right.
to unlock. It will tell you if you do this, you'll unlock a character.
Right. But yeah, no, I had a quick look and I was like, right, okay, if you get all these things in this particular order on this map, you'll have like 26 items. It's like, what? Like
Hmm.
I can't even build around like wanting one
I
weapon.
don't feel I can get that. I suppose, like, thing is, I've started to get to the point where all my permanent unlocks, I've got, like, my experience is increased every time I pick a
Right,
gem
yeah,
up,
no, I haven't.
and fucking, I've got quite a lot of the permanent unlocks now. I haven't got
Right,
the revive.
okay.
The revive's like key for extending your run, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. I know there is one about actually having a permanent duplication of your weapon, additional charges or additional.
Yeah, I think I've got like I've maxed out the power, the fucking frequency one, whatever that is.
Right.
All the ones that were weapon based, I was like, I'm going to crank all of those big
Right.
time straight away. They were the ones I
Right,
went
so
for.
you're already like boosted way past like.
Yeah, so
yeah.
I don't know what it'd be feeling like. I'm playing it also. I've unlocked hyper mode, where you just run around like a fucking you're on Whiz or something. You're just
right.
like so fast.
But all the enemies like that as well.
Well, no, the enemies are still. I don't know. I don't think they're any faster. You can just move so much quicker around the map,
Right.
so you're just like decimating everything, and picking up more gems. But like it's an option. That's a toggle on the beginning before you start the game.
I think I've seen Hyper or
Yeah,
or something like that,
there's
but
something
I was like,
else.
oh, I didn't want to.
You can make it. Like, there's a curse unlock, which increases the amount of enemies and the strength of the enemies and all that stuff.
Right.
I guess that becomes important because the more enemies you kill, the quicker you level up.
Yeah.
So if you've got a good strategy going from an early point, you can probably get loads. That's how you probably get loads of these fucking unlocks in a single run, by increasing the frequency of enemies. Because like some of the maps, like the library is quite good because it's quite compressed vertically. So the enemies and a lot of your weapons work quite well in that plane, the horizontal plane.
Yeah.
Like the whip specifically works like is in front of you and behind you. It works on a horizontal plane. But as you level up, it gets a bit more vertical. So that's a good level. I find a lot of my experiments happen in the library.
Okay.
Because I find I can usually get a good long run going in the library. But yeah, if you increase the amount of enemies piling in, then you obviously level up quicker. So
I did have a go on a map the other day that was just like plants, literally just plants. And I was like,
it's like a
what's going on?
bonus level, I think. Isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't quite understand.
Yeah, I'm not sure
what that was about. Like, I don't know if it's just
the bonus ones. I'm not really sure about, to be honest. I don't know what the crack with them is. If you do something, I guess you get maybe you unlock other characters. I don't know, but
yeah, I'm sure there's
still absolutely
something about them, but
on that game.
It's just so easy. It's literally like, I don't know what to do. Oh, I've only got 20 minutes, half hour. Oh, I'll stick that on. It's going to be half hour max.
Is it though?
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw it says when we Fraser were talking about it. I'm sure I heard someone say that they saw a streamer play it for 8 hours. I was like, how? How would you get to 8 hours?
That's just
you'd have
like
gone mental by the time you fucking got to 8 hours. But
maybe they're just like leveled up as much as possible and then just bug it off. Like just let it play. And
God knows.
They're spec'd up in such a way that they're just constantly.
You're just literally just ruining everything. But like I say, after 30 minutes, for at least 2 minutes after 30 minutes, all you get is the big death character that comes in. And I did get to the point where there were 3 of them fucking chasing me. Right. So that was my longest run when I had 3 death characters after me. And I was like, what the hell? But yeah, then that was just. But yeah, if you haven't already, I don't know what sort of spec PC, because I think it does get to the point towards the end It's not cheap, like graphics intensive. And
Mm.
there are a lot of things going on the screen, and if your CPU's a bit aged, I think it'll just chug away and won't work properly.
But it's very simple at the same time, isn't it?
Yeah, it probably runs on quite a lot of hardware.
Yeah.
Probably not Macs though. Running Windows, I doubt it, but I don't know. We'll see.
What else
So
you been
yeah,
playing?
have you got anything else to say about Vampire Survivors?
Not really. No. I'll still pick it up. It's just an easy
Yeah.
half-hour
See, now
pick
it
up.
talks about it, I want to play it now.
It's such a simple game, but it's very addictive.
Yeah,
So,
totally. Yeah. So what else have I played this week? I played a demo because it's big Steam Next Fest. We've had Jeff Fest, Summer Game Fest, and God knows what. Now we're on Steam Next Fest. Oh, I can't even say it. It's not Neck Fest. It's not about necks. There's Next Fest, and there's loads of demos on Steam at the minute. I don't know if there's quite as many as there was the last time they did this, but yeah, there's fucking loads basically. One of the demos is called Agent 64 Spies Never Die, which is GoldenEye, basically, on the PC. GoldenEye as in Nintendo 64. GoldenEye. They're supposedly doing a remake of GoldenEye. Hasn't occurred yet.
Oh, they're doing one?
Apparently. There's been rumours about it coming to Xbox for bloody ages. But yeah, hasn't turned up yet. So Agent 64 is someone's homage to a GoldenEye on the N64.
Right.
And it's basically fucking GoldenEye. I haven't played this. I didn't have an N64, but I remember playing it a few times when I go around someone's house and that. And it looks a lot like fucking GoldenEye, as I recall. You don't get any of the good Bond music. I had a weird thing going on. I don't know if my headphones were running out of battery, but the sound was all messed up when I was playing it. And I thought it was a bug in the game. And then I played a video. And I was like, oh no, it's my headphones. They're fucked. It does not play nice with a mouse and keyboard, I have to say. You have to plug in a controller to play this. Because It's got like, when you play a shooter in a mouse and keyboard, obviously it's like one-to-one movement, isn't it? When you move your mouse, it's fucking moving everywhere that you point to it. I don't know what the hell that was on the screen. I didn't even notice that. But yeah, when you play with a gamepad, it's better than playing it on an N64 because you've got right stick.
I was going to say, have you got right stick?
It's not got janky movement like because on the old N64 they hadn't sussed out that the move forward and backwards stick was really good for strafing with left and right rather than turning left and right because it was still turning left and right and moving forwards and backwards on the old N64.
Oh, they only had one.
Yeah, exactly. They only had one stick, and used to. It's got this weird aim thing as well. Like it will auto aim. It will like lock on with some things in this demo. I mean, it looks like an N64 game, so it doesn't look great by modern standards by any means. But I don't know if you fancy playing GoldenEye. I guess this is one way you could basically do it. But I don't know when the full game comes out, whether they actually make it to be a full game or Nintendo will just shut it down at some point because they like to do that sort of stuff. But it plays pretty nicely on a gamepad. And just don't bother playing it on a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, I can't see how Nintendo will shut this down because it's
a massive rip-off.
it's inspired by. You could sort of. But I
don't know how the levels compare.
Nah, it doesn't look like anything. Any one of them.
It's been a long time, Dave. I don't know if you can really remember how GoldenEye starts and stuff. But
I don't know. I did like. I don't know if anybody else remembers, but the actual missions on the N64, there was you could get gold stars. Like they ranked the maps how well you did, how quickly you did them, and I think I gold starred them all.
Oh my God.
I was,
Well, no, back in those days, you paid £100 for the game probably, weren't you? And it was like,
oh,
you can't afford
yeah,
another game for about 6 months.
yeah, it's pretty much didn't have any money, didn't have anything better to do, so yeah, smashed the hell out of the game. Yeah, that was good times.
Yeah, it was the thing is that made that game was the whole James Bond thing, wasn't it? Really, it was like the music and everything.
I tell you what, the multiplayer was really good as well.
Mm.
The local co-op, local multiplayer, not co-op, didn't have co-op. Yeah, the local multiplayer was really good. And I think it was
that
just
needed to have you have friends though, so
and 4
real
controllers.
life friends.
A controller's like 60 quid a pop.
Yeah,
So
everything's
yeah,
$20.
yeah, no, it was no, it's I can't imagine it being great now. I'm just watching it going, yeah, this really looks like a Nintendo game.
It's proper old. It is very faithful to like an old N64 shooter.
Yeah.
Or anything like that era.
So no, are you going to play any more? Or did you?
I don't know. It's only a demo. Like I say, I'm not sure if there's a when the full game's like to come out. I don't know how much that would be.
Did you finish the demo?
No.
No.
Like I say, my headphones were all fucked up and the sound was all weird, so I stopped playing. But I might go back and see how it is with the actual sound working this time. But this is where I got to what I was on the screen most recently, where I was like, I'm a bit stuck. I needed to find something to get past somewhere. I was like, I can't be asked. But yeah, there's a little bit of a nostalgia trip. That was all right.
Cool.
Main game I've been playing for the last few weeks, I finished this week.
Ooh. What, credits and everything?
Finished Horizon Zero Dawn, yeah. I haven't done it. I haven't platinumed it and the old PlayStation trophies, but I have finished the story.
Cool.
It's a very good game. Let's put it that way.
Is that Aloy? Aloy, is that
Aloy?
Aloy.
So,
yeah, I didn't finish it. I got quite far into it, but I never actually finished it.
Yeah. Oh, did you have it on PS4?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've had it. I looked at my trophies. I first got a trophy 27th of February 2018.
Right.
So I've had it 4 years. 4.5 years nearly. But I don't know, I didn't even get to level 10 before I stopped playing it on the PS4. I don't know why. Like I said, as far as I remember, I was just getting stuck in side quests and just not really getting very far. Thanks, Xbox, for giving me a notification. That was annoying. So overall, the story, like the main story arc, and all of the Zero Dawn and stuff like that, I thought was excellent. Well, like I said last week, the whole just too many fucking idiots wanting my help all the time. Just fuck off and let me play the game. I managed to do it in 30 hours, it says. So it wasn't too bad, I guess. So I wasn't like... I did find myself at the end going, maybe I'll just go back and do some of the other stuff. And I was like, nah.
Because you've got the other game, haven't you, waiting for you?
I have got... I bought with my PS5, Forbidden West did come with the game. So yeah, so I'm still playing PS4 games, obviously. I did play... The only PS5 game I've played is Astro's Playroom, which was like comes free with every PS5. Which was all right as a tech demo of their thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like it probably helps playing it on better hardware than the base PS4, because that would have been running at 30 frames on the old PS4, and my PS4 would have been fucking like a jumbo jet or something playing that game, because I had the OG PS4. Like on a Pro, it probably looks a lot nicer. I don't know if it runs at any better frame rate, but it probably looks a lot nicer. I do have this weird thing where it was really fucking dark when it got, because it's like a day-night cycle in the game, and when it gets to nighttime, it's so fucking dark. I'm like, I can't see a fucking thing. Literally can't see where I'm going. I'm walking through a forest, and it's like I cannot see where I'm fucking going. Whether that's because I'm playing in a well lit room, it's not fucking HDR, and well, I think it is HDR to be fair, but I think maybe it is because it's HDR. It's a fucking problem. I don't know, because it's running a PS4 game on the PS5. I don't know, but it was really fucking hard to see when it was nighttime, or in your dark, and if you're inside and it's a dark area and stuff.
See, that's where like you might disagree with me, but whenever there's a thing when you start a game saying, how bright do you want this, and there's three things and you're like barely visible, visible, highly visible. I'm like, crank it all the way up when all the
Barely
way up.
visible is definitely visible when I set that up.
Yep.
But even so, like I think I had the brightness cranked to max on the game,
And you're still
and
struggling.
I'd had my backlight because I was playing it on my old, not my LG TV, my old fashioned. So you have a backlight, old LCD, whatever. So that's cranked up to full. It's on like well high brightness on the TV, and it's still really fucking dark. And I'm like, I don't understand. But that's technical annoyances. But the actual, I was talking last week, when I about the riding of the machines. Like I hadn't sussed out. Right at the fucking end of the game, I sussed out what I'd had to do to there, and I've been playing the whole fucking game without doing that. And I was like, I don't know if I've missed something out there, whether I've really missed anything by not being able to ride the dinosaurs through the whole game. It was all right to run around and just shoot the dinosaurs while I was traveling between places. You're quite quick when you run. It's not that, it looks like a bigger map, but I just used fast travel. Once I'd been to places, I would just create a fast travel pack or whatever. They massively overdid the crafting stuff as far as I was concerned. There's too much of that.
With all the different ammo types.
There's not. I don't mind the ammo types so much, but it's like fucking everything needs crafting. Every resource. It's just like you can't just pick something up. No, that's just an ingredient to make something else.
Right.
So yeah, and there's so many things you could make by the end of the game. It's like fuck me. And I actually started to run out of shards towards the end of the game, which are like the things you need to make arrows and stuff. And I was like, oh, fuck's sake. So now it's just like go and fucking kill everything. But so it has some annoyances for me. Like I say, there's too much side stuff. It would have been a bit more, I'd have preferred a little bit more streamlined, less fucking side quests, because it's just too fucking many. Like I said, I'm literally right near the end of the game. And it's like some guy's like, oh, come and help me. I'm like, fuck off, dude. I'm on the way to fucking do the last mission. Don't start asking me for help now. Fucking annoying. But so yeah.
So does it give you a new game plus option, or is it? Like
I don't know if it was there originally. Like there's the whole, because I've got the complete edition, is it called? So I've got like the full Frozen Wilds expansion, which was released after the game came out. That I could play, but I was a bit like, I think I've had my fill of that game. Right. Like I say, with all the technical difficulties, I know there's going to be another fuck knows how many side quests to do if I went into that area as well, with whatever story there is. And I don't think you really need to play the sequel.
Right.
So that's me done with Horizon Zero Dawn for the time being. Good game.
Cool.
Too much side bollocks. So obviously having a PS5 and a copy of Horizon Forbidden West, what you do next is you play another PS4 game that you haven't played.
Of course you do.
And I downloaded a few. I've downloaded, because when you buy a PS5, you get this thing, and you have PS Plus. You get the PS Plus collection, which is for people who skipped a lot of the PS4 games. So they're giving you Last of Us remastered. Horizon is one of the games. Bloodborne. Some of the big hitters over the PS4's life cycle you can now play.
Oh, okay.
Uncharted, but they're the PS4
I was
going
to say, is Uncharted or Spider-Man?
Yeah, because Spider-Man's not in there.
Right.
Yes, they haven't really, because they can still sell that game. So they're not going to put that in. So there's about, 10 or 12 games that you can play that are like some of the big success stories from the PS4's time.
Mm-hmm.
and what did I say? I downloaded one or not?
You downloaded one, yeah.
I've downloaded a couple. So Monster Hunter World is one of them.
Okay.
I haven't played that yet because that's a bit soulsy.
That's a commitment, that one.
Yeah, I think it's an open world, big monster killing game. But I think it's
open world co-op.
You can like co-op it, can't you? I think so.
Yeah. It's kind of designed around co-op.
Yeah, so I haven't started that. Yeah, this month's PS Plus was a bit disappointing for me. There's a Naruto game which I'm really not interested in.
Yeah.
And there was fucking hell, I can't even remember the other one. It was so near. And then there was Nickelodeon All Stars, and I was like, really fucking that was the PS5 game for the month. I was like,
wow.
Glad I bought that fucking PS Plus.
Yeah,
so
that's a bit weak, isn't it?
I've claimed it because you do that sort of thing, don't you? But I ain't fucking installing that. I shouldn't, because it's like Nickelodeon Smash Brothers. I'm like, yeah, I'm not 10, so whatever.
Yeah, it's no Xbox Game Pass.
I mean, the Xbox games with gold have been fucking shit for a long time, to be fair. So, like, if you've just got Xbox Live Gold, which was the old thing you needed to play multiplayer, and then they started giving the games away like PS Plus were. And there's been some good ones, but since Game Pass has come on scene, most of the games with gold are fucking shit. But PS Plus has, like I say, the other month PS Plus gave away FIFA 22. That's basically what made me buy PS Plus, because like, my son will play that. I won't play it, but he'll play it. And there'll bound to be a few good ones over the next 12 months. Fingers crossed. But PS Plus, whatever it's called, PS Plus Extra and Premium is out in a week.
And what's that?
That's now going to, like, PS Now has been a thing on PlayStation for a while, which was their streaming. Initially, it was a streaming service to, like, you could pay £8 a month or whatever and play games streaming. Then they started offering games for download because their streaming was a bit poo. And then now the big thing is that it's being integrated into PS Plus. So there'll be 3 tiers of PS Plus from next week. It's already launched out in the Asian territories. It launched in the US this week. North America, I believe. And this next week, it's the EU and the UK. They added some games when it was launched in the US. I'm hoping they added a few more when they launch it next week as well. Because I think there's going to be basically, like, the main PS Plus games launch on the first Tuesday of the month. There'll be a refresh to the higher tiers of PS Plus on the first Tuesday and the third Tuesday of the month, I think.
This is a PlayStation Plus Premium.
So Premium is the super duper one, isn't it? The top end. And that gets you access to PS3, stream PS3 games, PS1. You can then download PSP, a PS1 and PS2 games to your PS5 and play those games. And I'm like, no thanks. I'm not quite sure why you put that in the top tier, but
yeah, I'm just looking at it now. So PlayStation Plus Essential.
That's what I've got now, basically. That's the old normal PS Plus.
2 monthly downloadable games, exclusive discounts, cloud storage for your save games, which used to be a standard feature anyway.
Which is all PS Plus, basically.
Online multiplayer access.
Yeah, that's been PS Plus since PS3.
So you couldn't play.
PS3 was free multiplayer, and then the PS Plus got you games per month. Then from PS4, it was you had to have PS Plus to play online.
Oh, okay. I didn't realise that. Wow. Okay.
So there's 3 tiers now, and the middle tier is like the one with. That's probably worth it. Is the closest thing to Game Pass, because it's not going to have day one releases, but there are going to be PS5 games on the mid tier of PS Plus.
So Plus Extra adds a catalogue of up to 400 of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games, including blockbuster hits from a PlayStation Studios catalog and third-party providers. Games in the extras are are downloadable for play.
Yes.
So you get access
that's,
to games.
That's what I was thinking. Oh, I'll just do that for a month, every now and again, and but because I've bought PS Plus, I can't just upgrade for a month. You have to whatever. If you upgrade now, like once it kicks in, if you want to go up to the next tier, you have to pay to the end of your current subscription period the difference, rather than just be able to. It's probably a fucking software problem for them, a systems issue that like they can't fucking work it out so that it would only do that for a month.
Yeah.
Without it fucking up royally, so they just go just to keep it simple. And if you want to upgrade, you have to upgrade for the rest of it because a lot of people basically want people paying every month.
Yeah. That's
because
it.
I was there listening, thinking about it when they say there was 25 million Game Pass subscribers. I was like, if that's like £10 a month, but I mean, there's obviously people that aren't paying £10 a month, but that's a lot of fucking money every month. And like you wonder how can Game Pass be profitable? It's like that's 250 million a month.
Yeah,
that's quite a lot of money.
Just a month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm just looking. PlayStation Plus Premium adds up to 340 additional games, including PS3 games available via cloud streaming, a catalog of beloved classic games available in both streaming and download options, cloud streaming access for the original PlayStation, PS2, PSP, and PS4 games offered in the extra and premium tiers in the market.
Mm-hmm.
Time-limited game trials will be offered in this tier, so customers can try selected games before they buy. Yeah. And then, hang on, there's something else. PlayStation Plus. PlayStation Plus
places where you can't stream.
For markets without cloud streaming, PlayStation Plus Deluxe will be offered at a lower price compared to Premium. So I don't know where you can't stream.
That'll just be exclude the PS3 stuff, but you'll still be able to download PS1 and PS2 games and that shit. So but yeah,
it's a lot of money though. It's not.
It sounds a lot of money, but I think the mid tier is okay if you've not got like. It depends what games stay in it. But when it kicks off in a week's time, there'll be PS5 wise. There'll be Demon's Souls, which I'm interested in, Returnal, which I'm interested in, Spider-Man Miles Morales. I'm interested in playing that. There's like 3 or 4 PS5 games on there, and I'm like, hopefully going forward, I think I'm going to probably pay whatever it costs to upgrade to the next tier. Because I bought some credit from Shop2. Oh, that's a little tip for anyone in the UK. Shop2, 50 quid PlayStation credit, £42.85. Like that.
Not bad.
So it's like 15% cheaper or 14% cheaper than actually paying. Anyway, before you even if you paid at full price, you're still saving 14%.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be paying full price. I'll be buying my credit from there and then buying stuff when it's on sale.
Yeah. The yearly price for the premium is £999 for a year's worth of.
No, it's not. No, it's not £999.
Not 99.99. I added an extra 9.
You could buy 2 PS5s.
9,999 pounds. 99 pence.
Well, the funny thing is, they had Tekken 7. The day it launched in the US, Tekken 7 was on the store for $10,000.
Was that like
obviously a fucking balls up somewhere? It was not. I think it was $9,999.99 or something. It was like that. It's clearly fucked up there somehow. But yeah. So anyway, back to
£99, 99 pence.
Yeah. So yeah, it's 84 quid I think for the mid tier for 12 months, which sounds a lot in one hit. But it's like
if you do
$10.99 a month or something. Yeah, exactly. Or if you buy your credit from somewhere else, it's less.
Yeah.
So anyway, as I was saying, I did download some games. They're all PS4 games. I can't remember which ones I did, but the one I did actually end up playing is Until Dawn. So I don't know if you know anything about Until Dawn. It's like
No.
playing Scream, the video game, as in Scream the movie.
Jump scare galore.
Yeah, oh man, it's fucking. It has made me. I was like, this when I first started playing it. I was like, oh, this is fucking awful. It's like a shit version of Scream. But then it definitely has had me fucking jumping a few times. It's pretty funny. And it has made me laugh a few times. It was like when I first like, oh, it's a fucking bunch of annoying teenagers. This is going to be fucking awful. And then I was like, actually, this is not that bad. This is actually quite good.
So is it supposed to be like corny like that?
I think, like I said, yeah, I think that's the deal because Scream was proper like that when it was.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it for years, but it was proper like shit, really. It was supposed to be funny.
It was very tropish. It was very
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's got that whole like all of the fucking tropes. Like you're not quite like I haven't seen it yet anyway. Like when you look in the mirror, they're washing their face, they look in the mirror, they look down, and then or whatever, they turn away, and there's fucking someone behind them in the mirror and all that shit. It's all that sort of stuff. Like someone's reaching for a cupboard and something fucking scuttles out. I was like, "Fuck's sake, you bastards!" So it has made me jump multiple times. It's not like fully intense, fucking scary. Something's happened here. But yeah, it's very good at what it's done so far. I'm going to move that, get a different one of these on. So yeah, I haven't played a lot of it. It feels like there's a I don't know if it's not episodic literally, but it feels like you might play it for a bit and then not play it for I don't know until tomorrow sort of thing. Because like I was playing along and all of a sudden it just come up previously on Until Dawn. I was like, what the fuck? I've just literally been playing it. So yeah, it's like a slasher movie basically. And in the first part of the game, it was like a tutorial. So right. I'm going to give technically a spoiler, I guess, but it's all about making choices. There's not actually too much gameplay. It's not, so it's a bit like a Heavy Rain, I guess. You walk around a bit like control of the character, and then you like get to quick time events, or like also like Telltale type make a choice, because it's all about making a choice. It's about and all the choices you make will depend on who's fucking alive at the end of the game, basically. So the first thing that happens is all these teenagers are up at this cabin. One of them, they play a trick on one of them. She runs off, and then you play her sister, and you like go out. In the end, you're all out trying to look for her. You run off after her, and you get to a point where the baddie is there, and you've got a choice between dropping your sister or letting go. And I was like, well, fuck it, I'll let go then. And oh yeah, we're both dead.
Yeah.
So that's how my game started. I killed both of us. And then like obviously then it's just like you come back a year later.
No, so that's not the end of the game. That's like
that's literally like the first. That's like the tutorial. That's the tutorial
right.
to like tell you how to play the game. Like so, you get a bit of walking around, a bit of running around, some quick time events, making some choices, and that's how I ended it. So I killed both the fucking girls, and then they come back a year later. All the others who were there to sort of. That's what the girls would have wanted us to do, to come back and have a good time. Blah blah blah. It's a bit cheesy, like it is proper cheesy. Rami Malek is in it. Is the girl's brother.
Okay.
There's a load of other people in it that I don't recognise. I don't know who they are. But yeah, he's like by far the most famous person as far as I was concerned. I don't know, I might have missed something elsewhere, but it was the only name I recognised as the credits rolled at the beginning. So I will see how it gets on. So you're playing in like sort of not quite static camera, but it's not quite, and it's not tank controls like, but you're walking around an environment and then the camera angle will change. So it's shot a bit like a film.
I was going to say, it sounds a bit like Resident Evil.
Yeah, old school, real old school, where you're sort of moving from scene to scene.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is well cheesy. And like I say, I was like, it's not full on scary intense, but it's made me jump multiple times in the first like hour and a half or whatever that I played of it. So it's quite funny, and we'll see. I don't know how long it takes to play. Hopefully not mega hours and hours, because that would be, well, it'd get a bit tedious if it was a long game. But it's one of those things you could probably play 2 or 3 times if you're into it.
Okay. Different choices and
Yeah, exactly. Make some different choices and all that sort of stuff. But it is quite funny. We'll see if I carry on with it or whether I go, fuck it, I'm going to play a PS5 game next week. Like I say, because I want to probably try and do a run of this before PS Plus new launch comes out. Because once that comes out, I'm pretty sure it's going to be irresistible for me to go in and go, yep, Demon Souls, here we go.
So you try to get some of these like games in before you just go full tilt on a random Demon Souls game.
Well, it'll be Demon Souls, like I say. The Returnal is, I'll actually be filling up my PS5 hard drive. Because what I've done as well, because the PS5 comes with 800 odd gigabytes of super fast SSD or whatever. But the PS5 games are fucking massive, some of them.
Are they?
Well, if you download, I don't know what the deal is, because I've installed Forbidden West, and it's about, I don't know, like 90 gigabytes or something. But if you go to the store, digital store, it says it needs 187 gigabytes. I was like, what the fuck? That's like a lot of fucking data. But the thing is, I remember the PS4 being a bit weird, where say you only had 50 gigabytes space left on your hard drive, you couldn't download a game that was like 49 gigabytes because it's like it needs double the space because it's almost like it downloads it, then installs it, and fucking needs more space. So I don't know if that's kind of weird shit going on still. But yeah, the fucking Gran Turismo was like 190 gigabytes. I was like, fuck. I can understand a game like that being massive. But yeah, so that 865 gigabytes ain't going to last very long. And the PS4 games, you can plug in an external hard drive and put all your PS4 games on an external hard drive, so they aren't clogging up your SSD. So that's what I've done.
Okay.
Plugged in an external, and they run
on your PlayStation 5.
On the PS5, yeah. So anything PS4 will install to the external, and anything PS5 goes on the internal.
Okay.
Because you can buy an SSD to plug in, like a M.2 drive.
Yeah.
But as you know, as a PC guy, they're not fucking cheap.
No.
Far from it. Although they're probably the cheapest they've been for a lot since they came out, to be fair. But it has to be like the latest super fast PCIe 4 ones, which are the most expensive ones.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then they'd heatsink as well, generally, because they get fucking really hot. So,
what, the hard drives?
Yeah. Because the way they are, like, if I plug it into my PC, there's like a built-in heatsink on my motherboard where you like I take the heatsink off, put the M.2 drive in, then put the heatsink back on, and there's a fan and everything that like got a big fuck off heatsink on it. But in the PS5, you can get. I think the ones technically that you can buy with an SSD are probably better heatsinks than the ones I've got on my motherboard. But yeah, they get fucking hot. They run at like 70 degrees centigrade when they're cranking the data around. So yeah. That needs a heatsink on it. Otherwise, it just goes, no, I'm too hot. I'm not going to do that fast anymore. So I'm still playing Halo every day. Other than that, to get me rewards done.
I saw you playing that before you were.
I've been playing.
Very good, very good. Let's have a quick look. Lord and Jax is in the chat.
And Andy Cox, I believe that is. Been a while, Andy. Good to see you.
And then I've obviously been playing Vampire Survivors. But I'll talk about that. The only real game that I've been playing this week is RimWorld again. Getting into RimWorld. But I've been playing a heavily modded version of RimWorld, which includes additional things like plumbing and being able to
Exciting.
ride animals. Yeah, it kind of changes the game a little bit. I've sort of added more clothing, more interactions. What else? What else did I add? More sort of personalities part to it. An expanded trading component.
What's this?
Let's have
Don't
a
know why I'm
look.
getting Discord pictures on stream.
Gear up and go. Yeah, just like there's the mods available for RimWorld are just massive, and there's some that actually can just completely sort of change how the game is. Mine's more of adding additional things onto the gameplay. So more prosthetics, rewriting how death works in that if you have basically if you're given a kill shot, i.e. somebody shot out your brain or your heart, or sorry, not your brain, the brain or heart of one of your pawns, you've actually got a time to either put them into cryogenics or put an AI into their brain or give them a prosthetic heart. Before, if you were shot and dead and you're dead, that's it. But now you've actually got like a limited amount of time before death is confirmed that you can actually sort of not resurrect them, but
Do some CPR.
for them not to be dead, which is good. I had an idea about how actually putting it on Twitch, some of my gameplay, and there's a Twitch integration,
Okay.
which I was gonna sort of try out, but yeah, again,
Is that a mod or is that part of the game now?
It's a mod. It basically you enter your Twitch details or the details of a Twitch channel, and it scans the names of people in the chat channel, and it adds them to either your pawns or guests or animals or things like that. And then Twitch, you can actually have embedded words that people can say that can either give you gifts or send raids against you or gives you various debuffs or buffs for your colony and stuff. So I was gonna mess about with that. Again, one of those things is like I've got loads of these really good ideas about what I want to do, but it's just time and work and yeah, and heat. And yeah, so I'm just keep on looking through the mods list. It's just it's one of those games that was like, oh yeah, I'll play for like half hour. I'll just just do a few things. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. It's like what am I doing? And then like I didn't do any of the streaming and like half of it was setting up some of these things. Oh, I'll just see what this is. Forget about it, and then start just playing. So
yeah, so
but yeah,
the base game then? What is the actual like end goal of the game?
the end goal is to get off this world.
Right.
The start of the game is that it's basically a storytelling simulation of you arrive on this world, but you can set up where you arrive. How your I've got all the expansions, and one of them is ideology, basically religion. You can set up what religion you are, like how you set up. Are you like early tribesman? Are you somebody that's crash landed and has got like loads of tech, but you're only one person and you need to sort of recruit more people, and then like then it's a colony management as okay, you've crash landed and you've in this situation and you need to build a base, you need to build like a housing, somewhere you can sleep, somewhere you can cook, somewhere you can research, somewhere you can build additional resources, guns, defense, brickwork, and all that. And then so you need people to be put into those roles, and you need to prioritize what things are more important. You know, you're going to be doing more constructing, you're going to be doing more mining, you're going to be doing more sort of engineering, sort of building all these things. You're going to work on food, and then the mods that I've got, you've got to think about sanitary, so you've got to put water in. Electric is part of it. You're going to go wind, solar, you put batteries in. It's just like, yeah, there's a lot to it, and the end goal is, yeah, you get to a point where you then travel across a map and find a rocket to get off the map, or you can like the world map includes other colonies. Do you go to war with them? Do you clear out everybody? Do you trade with everybody? Do you get best friends and befriend everybody so you don't get any more raids? Yeah, it's a big old game. But you can play it how you want. You know, you could be carnivores that just eat raw meat and just piss everybody off and get everybody to try and raid you and then just eat them. Or you can play as the technologically advanced sort of nihilists that befriend everybody. And then you know, it's the game is the story about the progression of how you do it. You know, you've got these pawns and you start with 1 or 3 or 5, or you know, you get some more, but you learn to, like, they've all got their own personalities and their traits. So some could be hardworking, some could be lazy, some can be pyromaniacs, and you and they have
crazy.
yeah, they have interrelations between each other as well. So some like other pawns, some don't. Some get married between each other. You might have guests that the game decides has a relationship, so they're the brothers or fathers, or you know, any relationship, or a pet comes along and then one becomes attached to that, and then maybe the pet gets killed by a panther, and then the person who sort of adopted that animal, dog, cat, goes on a murderous spree because their animal was killed. Yeah, there's a lot to it, and I just play it as it comes. And there's a lot of points where you could go, that was bullshit. Like, I'm just going to reload a save. But on most of those occasions, I'm like, it played out, it did. No. Yes, I lost a few pawns. Yes, I made.
So can you like fail the game?
You can fail. Yeah, your colony
Like
can get
get
wiped
a
out.
game over sort of thing.
Yeah, and you go. "Mwah." I've done that a few times. On some of those, I've gone, yeah, no, that's bullshit, and I've rolled back because there's obvious things that I could have done. But I've definitely had colonies that have just run out of food. And you can go God mode and just give them a load more food, but it's just like, no,
Not really a
that
game,
was
though, is it?
well, that's it. Like, there's a sort of fine line between sort of simulate, like me playing as a colony simulation and me creating a colony to survive and get past all the things. And if I didn't do my job, if I didn't put down enough farmland, or didn't create enough hunters, or then that's fair enough. If I didn't take up quick enough to get hydroponics to allow indoor food production, that's on me. Because you can also get events like global events like nuclear winter, or a volcanic eruption, and basically shuts down all sort of solar and makes it really cold outside, which kills all plants, and no animals are on your map. And it's normally fair. Like there is like the gameplay like is fair in that you should have got to that point. You should have got to a point where you can self-sustain if you've got this. And if you didn't, you didn't. And I'm like, yeah, could cheat, but what's the point? Because I didn't actually do it properly. There is like in-game quests where you can do like harder stuff. You can sort get rewards for protecting somebody that comes into the colony, and they're being chased by people, and then like you have the possibility of them being recruited, or they might give you a gift of some high value items or some silver, which is the trading currency. And yeah, there's a lot to it. And yeah, it keeps pulling me. Like, I think the last time I played it was like 6 months ago, and I was like, I probably at that point was like, I've got to stop playing it because it's too much. I was like, I'll just sort of. I've seen some really good mods that I've seen on a few other YouTube channels, and I was like, oh, I'll just try them out, and I've got suckered in because it's so easy to.
If it's fun, there's nothing wrong with it.
Well, that's it, isn't it? It's it's. I've obviously got like a colony simulation itch that needs scratching, so yeah, I'll play a bit of that.
Cool.
And then that's it. That was the 2 games I've been playing this week.
Right then.
I
I guess that's the end of the show ish.
I guess that's the end of the show. I don't think we've got any news to
well,
discuss.
there's been news, like still stuff getting announced. We obviously did a show Friday, so we missed the Xbox thing from last Sunday, and there's been a few bits and pieces in between. So there's been Starfield. Are you a Bethesda guy?
Yeah. I saw the memes about it. I was like, I've seen that before. It was like, yeah.
People saying it's going to be like No Man's Sky, but I'm like, better not be like, because that was shit.
Well, there's 2 things.
Shit.
Looks a bit like it looks a bit like No Man's Sky, which was not the best. It's been updated a lot, and I do mean to check it out at some point. But it's also a bit like Oblivion. I don't know.
I didn't play any of these games. I'm not a Bethesda fanboy.
Where it's very static conversations. Yeah, and like
people are just never happy with these things, as far as I can tell.
No
one's ever happy.
I want to be excited by the game, Starfield.
But I'm very
Fallout? Much. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can get into it, really.
I want to be excited by it. I definitely been burned by being excited by some of these games previously, and also I don't think they did a good job of announcing that game and actually what it is, because I don't think anybody knows what it is. I'm not sure if they even know exactly what type of game it is.
They must know, because it's got to come out in the next 12 months. So it's pretty massive by the sound of it. But
yeah,
hopefully there's plenty of things to do in the spaces that they've created, and they don't all look the same and stuff like that. But
yeah, creating variety, but giving people the freedom to make the choices that they want to make, and yeah, maybe I don't know. I am quite skeptical about actually like what the game is. So
well, I don't know. I'm not that bothered about it, to be honest. I don't know if I'm really an RPG person. I play them, and I don't really get very far. Generally, I get like, I don't know what it is about the Souls games that I don't know if it's because you can upgrade quite regularly. It gets longer, obviously, because it takes more as you go. But I always have this analysis paralysis almost with these RPGs going. I don't really know what I want to be good at. When it comes to you've got a skill point to add. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what to fucking do with that. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to put that in for me to have fun in this game. So I end up with like not choosing anything, and then trying to get a few of them together, and then going, oh, maybe I'll do this now. But
yeah, and then worrying about you missed something, or
and then exactly. I put points in fucking whatever, and then go, oh, you get to a conversation, and there's a big red thing saying you can't do this thing now. You're like,
you haven't put all these points in strength. He's like, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's not. I don't know. I've played these games a few times. I've like Elder Scrolls Online. I keep dabbling with that. I put quite a few hours into that, but that's not the same thing. Like,
No.
no, well, I don't know. It's just busy work. It's like an MMO, isn't it? You're just running around, fucking picking shit up, crafting
Right.
stuff, going to the next quest. I've still got a full quest log on fucking Elder Scrolls Online. And I don't. It's just ridiculous, that game. There's too much to do in that game. It's insane. Like there's tons of like each quest has got a load of fucking steps to it and like loads of story stuff usually. And as I'm in the middle of like trying to finish a quest, and they'll be like, I'll run through a town, be like, that guy's got a quest, this guy's got a quest. I haven't started yet. I'm like, fuck me, this game is absolutely ridiculous. But so if you're proper bored and you like a bit of Elder Scrolls, you should play it online because there's absolutely tons of stuff in that. I don't think I don't think that was the state it was when it came out, but they've had multiple expansions now because the latest one's just come out, hasn't it? But I haven't bought that one yet. But I picked up the whole thing that was up to the most recent expansion with about 15 quests, which is like tons of their stuff to do. But
Very nice.
yeah, I don't know about Starfield. I'll play it because it's going to be on Game Pass, but like, I'll probably be the same. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit more sci-fi, but then I got into it massively into Elden Ring and Dark Souls, and I'm not a fantasy person at all. Generally, like I never played Skyrim. I played it a few times, never really got into it, despite owning it multiple times. Thanks to their free upgrades usually. Couldn't get into Fallout. I don't know.
No.
I feel like I'd enjoy Fallout if I got past that. That's the whole skill point thing. I just like, I don't know what to do. I want to do this. I don't know where I should really go. I don't know. But,
I'm sure there's a guide that you could do.
Exactly. Just... Whether I should just go fuck it and read a few things or watch a few videos and just then go off and have some fun with it. But
just go like pure pistols or rifles or something. And
but that's never really been my type of game, to be honest. But I've just played shooters for fucking years, really. But
yeah, there's no real shooters out at the moment. I'm really interested in.
I think there's plenty of choice. That's the thing. Like Fortnite's just eating everything up pretty much, and Warzone, everyone just plays them.
Yeah.
Like Battlefield have had their latest season launch, haven't they? No,
yes.
And it's like they've had to try to do a big relaunch of that game, and I don't feel like it's doing anything major for them. I haven't bothered to reinstall it, but
no.
Supposedly it's good now. I'm like, well, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me, Forza Motorsport looks absolutely ridiculous. Well, I'll definitely be playing a bit of that when it comes out. Just tape it all.
Is that a track based?
A proper Forza track racer, yeah.
Right.
I mean, just the detail that they showed on that trailer was amazing as far as I was concerned. Like the full ray traced cars and that, like there's a bit in the trailer like they're just like two cars going down the road when they're like zoomed in. As they went past the cars, you could just see the reflection of the other car and everything. I was like, "Fuck me, that looks incredible."
Now, are they destructible? And is there a demolition derby?
Definitely more destructible than you get in Gran Turismo because I don't think they have any damage modelling in that.
No,
game. You have damage modelling, but you don't see any of it.
No.
So, yeah, like they've got cars flipping and looking all bashed in and stuff like that. Like that's the thing that was what they sort of introduced way back when they brought Forza Motorsport original out. I think was all that sort of damage, visual damage, which you'd never like. Gran Turismo was ridiculous. You just have this fucking 200-mile-an-hour crash and your car looked perfect.
Yep.
But yeah, it would behave differently, but it looks still perfect. But I don't know if that's sometimes to do with the manufacturers of all these vehicles not wanting their cars to look
That was what it used to be blamed on. Yeah, the manufacturers not wanting their cars to appear.
Yeah, the sort of terms of the licensing agreements were like, you can't make our car look shit.
Yeah.
But what else? I haven't really seen much else this week. I missed the PC gaming show on Sunday, so I don't know what nonsense came out of that. That's usually a right crazy thing, but I didn't watch it this year. But I've not really heard much other than everyone's banging on about Starfield, about it looking like No Man's Sky, and I'm like, I didn't like that game. So too much
Enough for
fucking.
me.
I died in No Man's Sky before I managed to find enough whatever I needed to find. I can't remember. It was just like, this is fucking irritating. But yeah, so I still think Elden Ring's just completely destroyed every other game for me. I don't know what, like, that's an RPG technically, but it's like I knew what I needed to do after playing like a few of their games before.
Right.
Like I knew, like, I'm going to do this character. That's what, and that's the thing. I don't really know what I'm going to do in the other games. I'm going to go down the dexterity route in Elden Ring initially, because that's what I've done before in Dark Souls and found it enjoyable to have that melee. That's the way I built my melee characters. Is like dexterity build, and then you still have good archery capability.
I'm surprised you haven't done another run on Elden Ring yet.
Yeah, well, mate, that was 200 odd hours I put into Elden Ring. So that was quite a lot. So I thought, I don't know whether to. I've still got it installed and everything. I don't know whether to pop in and carry on from where I am, or start a new journey, and like keep like you do new game plus, where you start the game but you keep all your shit.
Right.
But things could definitely get pretty hard in New Game Plus in Elden Ring. I know that because I'm not sure about that yet. I like feeling quite powerful. Even still, like towards the end of the game, like a fucking level 150 or whatever, things can kick your ass big time. So yeah, going back to the start and everything being a lot stronger. I'm not sure I want to do that just yet. But yeah, so that'll be me playing Elden Ring next week. I think we're done then.
Right.
Unless you've got anything else you can think of.
I've got nothing else I can think of. We've been on for a couple of hours now, near enough. Right. So at which point I will say thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask us questions or get involved, please contact us either on Twitter at Seal Podcast, email us at sealpodcast@gmail.com, or join us on a Discord server, as a link is pinned on Twitter. We have YouTube and Twitch channels which we upload and stream to regularly, which, well, we'll try and do more regularly.
At least once a week.
We'll try, the podcast. But yeah, I have plans for some stuff. Whether anybody watches it or not, I don't know. Neil, if you want to do a shout out to some of the
everyone
people
who's been in the chat, we've had Andy Cox, Lord, Sumu, Joysticks and Chill, some pair of twats, Pilch Reed and Fraser Moo. I think that's it. If who's been chatting, anyone else who's been lurking, I'm afraid I haven't clocked that this evening. Thanks for joining us.
Cool. Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Next week we will hopefully
it's a Stinky Poo. Sorry, I missed you as well. Thanks for joining.
We will hopefully have Fraser and Pilch back. I'm not sure Fraser actually. Maybe not Fraser.
Fraser's still in the UK next week, so I'm not sure he'll be up for that. But we'll see.
But yeah, Pilch.
Fingers crossed he's feeling all good next week.
Cool. Lovely. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining me, Neil.
Yes, thank you, Dave.
And fun. And we'll catch everybody next week.
See ya.
Thanks, guys. Bye.